Welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents Take Your Position. And yo, glorious day. You already see what's in front of you right now. It is the Lando Calrissian 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. This is the MMS 588 Lando 1/6 scale collectible figure. And boy, listen, if you know me, if you know your boy, you know that I've been waiting on this figure for so long. And it took him so long to release it, which I was wondering why. But you know what? I don't have to wonder any further. We got this baby in front of us in rare form. Now, if you're looking for the pros and cons, you're not gonna get that from me, because like I said, this video is strictly for posing. I'm marveling at this figure off the jump, pretty much. But again, if you're looking for that in the pros and cons on a full review, this is strictly about posing and how we can take this particular figure and make a work of art. Now, as you can see, we have the box in front of us right now. This is a slip cover. For those of you that know anything about the 40th anniversary figure, it is a slip cover, so it does slide up and down to reveal the figure at the bottom. Also the clamshell. Do like the amazing artwork on the front. It's your boy Billy D, Mr. Colt 45, the space pimp himself. My man Lando Calrissian in the flesh. I do like that. I love the portrait on the front. I love that we have that Star Wars logo right there. We have the 40th anniversary at the bottom. But yeah, I love the box art. It was something I actually expected, and I'm so glad that I finally have this figure in hand. It took a while, but I finally have it now. But you know what this is. This is Take Your Position, and we're all about the posing. We're all about the presentation, the spectacular figure that this is. So let's get it going. So as always, you see the box. Behind the box, of course, we have that figure. And boy, listen. Let's hone in on that baby boy. We have Mr. Colt 45 himself, Billy D, and man, this thing is amazing. I can't say it enough myself. You'll see once we get to the posing attribute of this particular video. Again, we have all the accessories out here that you can actually take a look at. We have the hands, both the blaster rifle and the actual pistol here. We have a lot of the assortment accessories. His arm communicator here. Also the communicator that he actually used in the tower to let people know that it was time to go. So we do basically have that, you know, because of course the garrison and the Empire had infiltrated Cloud City. So you know it was time to get out. And of course we have that stand right behind us. Not really a dynamic stand. It's just a regular stand with the crotch grabber here. Of course we already know that. Does have that nice little display that we actually got from Cloud City. Lando Calrissian on the front with the nameplate. But again, look at this. This figure is pretty much amazing, and we're going to see how amazing this thing is once we actually punch in and get to the posing. So without further ado, let's go. Now, to achieve a pose on this particular level doesn't really take much, and this would more so be perceived as a museum pose. As you can see, we have the hand draped around the cape itself. Now, the cape is sort of wired. It is a wired tab, so you can actually get this position a certain way by flipping it over. As you see on his left hand, he does have the other piece of the cape as he's walking. So just to kind of create more of an essence of he's, you know, pretty much in complete control, bit of a swagger, bit smooth. But again, this would be perceived as a museum pose because again, he's just walking position. He's not really doing too much, you know, and it doesn't really take much. No, you know, damaging the material or the costume or the stitching, not pushing it past a certain limit. We don't really have to get too much of a dynamic pose with Lando because again, he's Mr. Smooth himself. Didn't really do much, especially in Empire. All we seen him do was run, you know, shoot occasionally, warn others that it was time to leave. Did get in a bit of a scuffle with Han, but that wasn't too much. So, but yeah, this is a simple museum pose. It doesn't really take too much to get your figure in this particular pose. You have the, you know, walking position, one leg to the front. The more so supporting leg is going to be in the back because as you can see, he's going to be leaning more towards, you know, the back as a supporting leg. You do have that up slightly, this in the front. So it does take a bit of ingenuity, but you can get this in the detail this way and it would look incredible. So if you're looking for a museum pose, This is probably one of the best ones you'll find. Let's go. And we are back. And as you can see right now, we've recreated a pivotal scene. This is from Empire, one Bespin, of course. We have none other than the incredibly charming Lando and none other than the beautiful Leia. And this is the first meet and greet between the two. As you can see, he is lightly stroking her hand. But this is a simple pose. This is something that, would still be around the museum area. Something that you can definitely pull off in your DTOF if you want to recreate a scene. And it's all about just giving it a bit of element, some presence. So as you can see, we have both the figures in a nice little position, looking eye to eye, looking at each other like, wow, if Han wasn't here, what would I be doing right now? But no, I like this. I do like this scene. I like the simple fact that we have both the figures in their initial meet. If you don't already have the Bespin Leia or the Hoth Leia, then you pretty much you missed out, because this figure is incredible. And I like how I have her posed up with Lando, of course. Again, there's so much presence here, and that's what you want to create and recreate presence. And it's a simple stance. All it takes is him caressing her hand like so. You want to make sure that their eyes are basically meeting, nice and even. Again, not too much going on here, but we do see Lando looking deep in her eyes as he's about to caress and kiss her face, or kiss her hand, that is. If it was up to him, he'd doing a lot more. But yeah, it's something simple. It's not really too much, but you do get a lot of presence here with this. And that, like, again, if you get it in your DTOF and you want to create a scene, that's, people might worry about Lando not coming with a lot of accessories. He comes with a blaster pistol. He does come with his decoder watch itself, or his communicator with Lobot, of course. But yeah, you still get a lot of presence, a lot of swagger, a lot of detail. And don't, you know what? And as a matter of fact, just stay tuned. Next slide, you might see something special. So like I said, we are just creating poses with a lot of companion pieces now with Lando. And yeah, I think this next pose you'll pretty much be happy with, but this is just giving you a bit more dynamic, slightly dynamic, but at the same time maintaining the museum pose that you're looking for, staying within that area, and not really, again, like I always say, taking away from the integrity of the figure itself, but you still get some presence, and that's what it's all about. On to the next pose. So as you can see, I have dimmed the lights a tad bit because I need to pull this off. We need to make this believable and, show Lando's concern for his best bro, even though he sold him out. But anyway, we're going to kind of recreate the carbon freezing chamber scene when Lando was checking the Han and carbonite to make sure that, he was alive and in perfect hibernation, sorry about that. So we're going to actually try to recreate that. So what I'm going to need to do here, number one, is we're going to see how far we can get Lando's legs up. This is going to be a bit of a task. Can't get it up too much, but we'll try to do what we can do. And then I'm going to actually take this leg, as you can see, we're going to bend that back as far as we can, because we want to get Lando in a kneeling pose. So of course this leg can go back a bit farther. We're going to pivot the toe there, and I'm glad that it can actually do this. It does have a lot of ankle pivots, so we're going to pivot that back as much as we can, because we're going to have Lando pretty much in his kneeling. The leg itself, doesn't go too far up, but we're going to actually kind of cheat this a bit and bring the leg slightly back to whereas the boot is, you know, sort of like, oops, kind of broke off there, but we can actually get that back on. Hold on a second here. You don't want to actually do it too much because it does have that peg there. So again, we'll get it in. Man, Hot Toys, y'all know how to, you know, give us a few surprises here, but don't worry, we're going to get that fixed. You want to be careful, of course, with these boots, but luckily enough, it does actually have a peg. We just need to get the pants over it like so, and we just lightly peg that back in just like so, and it's good to go. So anyway, we're going to get that pegged in. Only going to lean it so far, but like so. Decide to get that leg. We're going to tilt him up, probably like that. And we're going to have actually Lando checking. Now, Lando, of course, as a matter of fact, we'll just do it this way. We'll have it to whereas he is slightly leaning both legs there forward. And because the chamber itself is so low, not as accurate as I want it, we're going to bring this arm forward. Try to lift this up a tad bit more. Give it some range. And they are jointed slightly. So we're going to have Lando checking Han to basically make sure that everything is okay. Again, he wants to check his friend to make sure he is in perfect hibernation. So we are going to do that. And we're going to try to cheat the system a bit. Have that cape flowing back. Lando is checking to basically make sure that Han is okay. We want to give it a bit of realism. Now, of course, we can't get the legs leaning the way we want it, but at least you can kind of cheat it a tad bit. I bring it around here because, again, we want to give it that realism and also show that Lando is concerned for his buddy. So we'll bring this arm down here, have him checking. We're going to bring the cape slightly over here so it doesn't cover. Okay, and then we'll bring this leg here. We're going to bring Lando slightly up with the pivot. Make sure his hands are there. He's checking. He wants to make sure there we go. Sort of nice. And it's going to be easy. If you have this freezing chamber with you, if you basically have it, I got this, basically the chamber itself was through Sideshow. Don't know if it's still available, but you know, it's a good piece to have. And we'll have Lando exactly like that. We'll bring his cape slightly over on the side. This is tilted the way I want it, right back here like so. Again, you have to kind of cheat this because with the actual material of the garb, you're not going to get everything perfectly right, but we're going to futz with it to get it the way we can. So we're going to do it that way, slightly there, have him leaning just to check. And I think that looks pretty good, if I must say so myself. We can zoom in just a tad bit, just take a look, and you see that he's showing his concern. I do like that. And if we spin it around a little bit, let's see if we can spin this around and see how it's going to actually look. Now, if it doesn't look right, we will still have time to modify it, but I just want to see how it's going to look going around, if we can get the look I'm searching for. So it kind of looks good from the back. You can see Lando's basically on his knees laying down. You basically see the apparatus here where, of course, we know he's okay. And what I want to do is stop it right about here because I want to make sure that Lando is looking directly at Han. Line of sight, he's looking at his face. He sold him out, and since we have it on his side, what we want to do is I want to see if I can slightly tilt that leg up like so, and I have that there. Now mind you, this is a bit different from the movie because of the simple fact that, again, with the material and everything that we have here with this character, you're not going to be able to pull everything off, but still you'll get some decent range like so. So I kind of like that. Also like that his hands planted firmly on the top, sort of like that. This hand was actually checking the decoder, but he wanted to make sure everything was okay. Again, after he sold his friend out, but you know, he makes up for it in Jedi. Spoiler alert if you didn't know, he's part of the rebellion. It actually helps. And you want to actually slide that cape over like that. That way it's not so much in the way of the apparatus that lets you know that Han is alive. So I like that. I like that. So let's spin it around and see how it looks and see if it works. I think it does. If you think it does, let me know in the comments if you like this pose. I like it. I think, you know, a lot of people will actually have this figure, and if you have both, you'll be able to pull it off. Let me stop it and actually bend his head slightly down. There we go. That's better. That looks a bit better, more realistic. Remember, line of sight, he's looking at Han's face. You know, again, that's his friend, and I like that. I like the way this looks, and the light basically shines off of his face. I am digging that. So let's get one spin around a little bit. I think that looks nice. I think that looks real good, to be quite honest. You have Lando there. He's checking his friend, and I like that we actually have the apparatus here, let you know that Han is alive. Yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah. This right here is incredible. This is an incredible scene. I like that. Can't wait to take photos of that. But, yep. That's great. I do like that. Now, it wouldn't be right if we didn't add a few cats here with him in the background. It wouldn't be good if we didn't have the main culprit. So let's bring in a few surprises. Let's go. And we are back, and as you can see, I have Vader, I have Boba, and we are somewhat creating that infamous scene of Lando checking to make sure that Han was okay. Yeah, I like this. Let's, you know, I always try to bring it out a little bit so you can take a look at it, but I like the way this looks. You see that? You can get some really good photos out of that. For those who are photographers, you can take a look at that. We have Vader, we have Boba in the back standing, just watching, and yes, we have Lando checking. I like that. Again, not too much, but just right. Again, I like this. I'm loving it. If you like it, as always, hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It turned out exactly the way I wanted it. Beautiful piece. I love this rendition. I mean, come on, man. Lando, all day, every day. You can have a complete set, create a storyline, and do what you do. And again, without taking away from the integrity of the figure. I always say that because I believe that. You know, you can do so much more if you just imagine. So, come on, man. What else can I say? Lando, all day, every day. You gotta get it. You have to get this figure. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Smooth, charming, charismatic, all things that make Lando Calrissian a great leader and a must-have for your collection. Now, I will put the link down at the bottom of this video where you can actually get this figure from. Remember, always imagine and dare to imagine. It's okay to have museum poses, but again, just give it a little pizzazz and some presence in your DTOF. As always, this is the 1/6 scale man, bringing you the best in 1/6 scale collectibles and anything and everything pop culture. And I hope this little tutorial helped you today. Again, I will put the link at the bottom, as I did get this figure from Toys Wonderland. You can get yours from different outlets, such as Sideshow, Big Bad Toy Store. There's a couple of other different outlets you can get it from, depending on where you want to get it. But I did get mine through Toys Wonderland. But yeah, this is Lando. Hope you enjoyed this posing session. It's a great figure. Again, a must-have for your DTOF, especially if you're looking to complete the 40th anniversary line. So, again, don't pass up on this figure. Get it, and once you get it in hand, just live a little. You know, give it a museum pose if you want to, but also if you want to give it a bit of dynamic, use your imagination. As always, this is LR for the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page. Signing out. As always, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And as always, prepare for my next adventure. Peace.